Hey guys, Opie here. Welcome back to my Bruce City garden. Boy, it's a hot one today in the smack in the middle of July. Boy, is it warm out here today. Got me sweating. But you know, it's better than having to put on a winter coat and shoveling snow. So I'm not complaining, not one bit. Today I want to. So I pulled the garlic out of the beds along the side of the house here, and if you go back and look at that video, the results were kind of lackluster. But you know what? It's garlic and it cooks up just fine. So I'm not complaining. A little bit of garlic is better than no garlic. But anyway, now that I've opened up that hole, I want to fill it with something. And I'm going to go ahead and put in my okra. And I'm not sure how well it's going to work over there. I did turn in some compost and added just a little bit of an all-purpose granular fertilizer. So that should help out a little bit. Now I know that okra is a heat-loving plant, and they really don't require any special soil. By my understanding, they can grow in some pretty poor soils. But with that being said, this is Wisconsin, and we're right next to Lake Michigan. It's typically cooler here in the summers, so I don't know exactly what to expect. I don't think these are gonna get 7 feet tall or whatever you see, you know, people down south are growing them. But as long as I get a little bit of a harvest off of them and learn something new about how to grow these, that's just fine with me. And I'm just filling up some extra space that I had anyway. So these things are definitely ready to come out of these seed cells. As you can see, they're very root bound. So, you know, these might just be shocked to the point of very little production this summer. I'm not really sure what to expect. They've been in here way too long, and that's my fault. That's totally my fault. Sometimes time gets away from you. Just so busy and there's so much going on, you just don't get to certain things. But that's all right. We're going to plug these in the ground today, and we'll see how well they do. So I'm going to go ahead and pull my okra transplants out of these seed trays, and if you see how root bound they are, I definitely need to break this up a little bit. Hopefully that doesn't shock these plants too much. I know it's typically not a great thing to do. I should have planted these out a long time ago. But I'm just going to break that bottom up a little bit. Otherwise, they'll have a tendency to keep growing just like they are. And by breaking this bottom up a little bit, it's going to allow those roots to start exploring outwards instead of in that spiral that they've been in. And after that, I'm just going to plug them in. I'm going to do one row across here. I've got about 13 plants that I can put in. So I'm just going to do one row and space them a couple feet apart and just give them room to grow. Not to say that they're going to really grow much more than what they are now, but in case they do, I want them to have plenty of room. Again, guys, this is just an experiment for me. Now that I have this okra planted out, I decided I've got a lot of this spent straw left from last year, about 2 bales worth sitting under the pine tree out back. I decided I'm going to go ahead and just add a top dressing of this spent straw to these beds. It should help retain moisture as it breaks down. It will add a little bit of nutrient, and it certainly can't hurt. Adding the spent straw really should help with weed suppression as well. So it has many benefits, and this is just really great stuff to use. I just love it. So we got the okra planted out and mulched in with the spent straw. And now it's just a matter of waiting to see what happens. It looks good. I did find some earthworms in the straw. So, you know, by my experience, if the worms are happy, then typically the plants are going to be happy as well. Hopefully they're not too root bound and we'll get some decent growth out of these. And I'll keep you updated throughout the season. I'm planning on doing a full garden tour in the middle of this upcoming week. But I just wanted to show you. Got squash. How do you like that? And across the entire straw bale garden, it's just unbelievable how fast everything's growing right now. It's just incredible. It's awesome. I did want to ask a favor from my garden friends though, and see if anybody recognizes what's going on with this ground cherry plant. Now my first inclination was that maybe I got water on these plants during the daytime and they just got sun scald. But these spots I'm also seeing on the back side of the plant, which is I guess technically the north side. It's not as bad, but there's still some spots over here as well. So my question is, does anybody recognize this? Is this too much nutrient? Is this a lack of something? I know it's not a nitrogen deficiency, and it really seems to be a necrosis of some sort, perhaps a pest. I'm not sure, but if anybody recognizes this, please leave a comment below. I would like to at least figure out what it is and maybe try to remedy the issue. And the last thing I want to get to today, or show off I should say, is this tobacco. We've definitely got flowers now, and they're really quite beautiful. What a beautiful looking garden, just incredible. And you know, I owe it to the spent straw, last year's straw. Just laid it out in this bed, and the growth is just absolutely phenomenal. And the potatoes behind it and the yacon, I think they're going to do just as well. So I really couldn't be happier. Everything looks really good. Hey guys, thanks again for joining me here today at the Brew City Garden. It's always great to have company as usual. If you like what you see, give me a thumbs up. So today we took care of the transplants. I got the okra put in, and everything looks good there. Top dressed it with some spent straw. So let's see what happens. Again, it was a little root bound, so I don't know exactly what to expect, but hey, you know, that's gardening. A lot of it's just experimentation, so it'll be fun to keep track of. Again, if you have any idea what's going on with my ground cherries and that white spotting, hey, let me know. You know, I'll keep looking it up, but maybe somebody can spot it right off the bat and help me out. That would be great. Otherwise, as you can see, everything's looking great here in the garden, and it's been a pleasure having you here. Hey, if you're new here, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and so you can keep, you know, you can follow along with the straw bale garden and the other gardens for the rest of the season and for years to come. All right, guys, it's time for me to get out of here. You guys have a wonderful day, and until next time, we'll see you.